Are you tired of the grind? That feeling that you're in a constant bloody fight for every customer, where margins get thinner every quarter? What if I told you the only way to win is to stop competing entirely? We're about to show you how, by diving deep into the game-changing book, Blue Ocean Strategy.
Exactly. And in this first episode, we're tackling the core metaphor that changes everything, the difference between a red ocean and a blue ocean. A red ocean is that cutthroat world Arav just described, markets saturated with bloody competition. But a blue ocean?
To really grasp this concept of creating new markets, we need to go beyond the metaphor and see it in action. So today, we're going to define these two oceans, and then unpack one of the most powerful examples from the book. A company that didn't just succeed in a dying industry, it completely reinvented it. Okay, let's start with the familiar territory, red oceans. The book defines these as all the industries that exist today. This is the known market space. The boundaries are defined, the rules are understood, and every company is trying to outperform its rivals for the existing demand. As that space gets more crowded, the competition gets cutthroat, turning the water bloody with rivals fighting over shrinking profit pools.
Exactly. And blue oceans, by contrast, are defined by untapped market space and the creation of new demand. Now, while some blue oceans are brand new industries, most are actually created from within red oceans by smartly expanding the existing industry boundaries. And this is the most important part. In a blue ocean, competition is irrelevant. The rules of the game are waiting for you to set them. You're not fighting for a bigger piece of the pie. You're baking a whole new one.
This might sound abstract, so let's make it real with the incredible story of Cirque du Soleil. When Cirque started, the circus industry was a classic red ocean. It was declining. Audiences were shrinking, alternative entertainment like video games was exploding, and all the players, like Ringling Brothers, were fighting over the same small and shrinking market of children and their families.
But Cirque du Soleil did something brilliant. The book makes it clear they did not compete with the existing circuses. Instead, they created uncontested new market space. They appealed to a whole new group of customers, adults and corporate clients who were already used to paying premium prices for theater or ballet. Their goal was so different that one of their first shows was literally titled, "We Reinvent the Circus."
And that brings us to the engine that powers the creation of blue oceans, a concept called value innovation. This is the cornerstone of the entire strategy. Instead of focusing on beating the competition, the goal is to make the competition irrelevant by creating a massive leap in value for both your buyers and your company. It's about creating new value where none existed before.
And that's the part that breaks one of the oldest rules in business, right? This idea that you're always forced to make a choice, the value-cost trade-off.
Exactly. Conventional thinking traps you. It says you can offer more value, but it has to cost more. That's differentiation. Or you can offer less value at a lower cost. But blue ocean thinkers refuse to make that choice.
They find a way to do both. They pursue differentiation and low cost simultaneously, which sounds impossible until you see it in action.
Let's bring it back to Cirque du Soleil. How did they achieve both? First, they looked at all the high-cost elements of a traditional circus and asked if they were truly necessary. They eliminated expensive animal shows. They got rid of star performers, who were costly. And they scrapped the three-ring venues, which split attention. All of this dramatically lowered their costs. But here's the brilliant part. They didn't just pocket the savings. They reinvested it.
By eliminating the high costs of animal acts and star performers, they freed up resources to pour into things the circus industry had never offered. They raised and created factors borrowed from the world of theater, a theme and a storyline, artistic music, sophisticated dance, and even multiple productions running at once, just like a Broadway show. They broke the value-cost trade-off because the money they saved on clowns and lions was used to create a whole new level of artistic value.
What an incredible global example. Now, let's see how this same thinking applies right here in India, because these principles are timeless and incredibly relevant for modern businesses everywhere.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at a more recent example that completely reshaped an industry here, Reliance Jio. Before Geo entered the market, the Indian telecom sector was the definition of a red ocean. You had a dozen companies locked in a brutal price war, fighting tooth and nail over call and text message rates. Every ad was about a slightly cheaper per minute rate. It was a bloody, exhausting battle.
But Geo didn't just enter that fight and offer a lower price. It created a blue ocean by making the central point of competition, the voice call rate, completely irrelevant. They made voice calls free. By doing that, they didn't just compete, they fundamentally reconstructed the market boundaries. The entire industry, which was built on charging for calls, was forced to change its model overnight.
They rewrote the rules. This is a perfect example of value innovation. Geo created a massive leap in value for customers by giving them free voice calls and an entire ecosystem of cheap data and content. At the same time, they built their business on a completely different, lower-cost delivery model, centered on data, not voice. They pursued differentiation and low cost simultaneously. The key lesson here is that creating a blue ocean isn't about outcompeting your rivals on the same old factors. It's about challenging the fundamental logic of your industry.
When you stop competing head-on and start creating, you unlock a level of growth you never thought possible. So, let's recap the 3 big ideas from today's chapter. 1. Stop competing. Red oceans are bloody with competition. Blue oceans are clear, uncontested, and yours to create. 2. Make the competition irrelevant. The goal is to make them obsolete by creating a leap in value. 3. Break the value-cost trade-off. The secret sauce: value innovation. You must pursue both differentiation and low cost simultaneously.
Those are the core concepts, but you're probably wondering, how do I actually do this? Well, that's where we're going next. In Chapter 2, we'll uncover the powerful tools and frameworks you can use to find and create your own blue ocean. We'll talk about the strategy canvas and the 4 actions framework. Don't miss it.
Thanks so much for watching. If you got value from this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. We'll see you then.